Alright, black-white. The submitter labeled this aggro. Aristocrats is probably a more accurate title, especially considering, like, there's a couple of copies of Kaya's Wrath here, and Aristocrats is probably a more accurate title. But let's play some games and see how it goes. This deck is going to have some aggressive draws with, like, 1 and 2 mana creatures. A mid-range deck that occasionally generates aggressive draws is probably gonna be a more accurate descriptor, but let's see. We need to address the low land count. Do we? How many lands are in it? Oh, yikes. Yeah, let's tweak the lands here real quick. There definitely should be at least a 23rd land, probably even 24. Curving to 4 probably means I want 24. This is 8, 13, and this is 8, 17. Oh yeah, I probably want significantly more white mana in here too. Let's do that really quick. So the mathematics on playing a white card consistently on 3 means you want 18 at usually 17 to 18. So if I do this, this is 8 plus 7 is 15 black, and this is 17 white, which is probably about okay. All right. Let's do that. Do want to make sure we can cast our spells consistently. So again, if you're not familiar with the mana calculations that I'm doing there for approximating how many colors I need of each source, you'll definitely want to check out Frank Karsten's Mana Math article on channelfireball.com. It's kind of like the go-to guide for figuring out how to consistently cast your spells in Magic and Standard. Would love to play first. Easy mulligan here. Add 2 lands. No, don't have lands on 1. That's fine. One's like a 2 or a 3, but pretty reasonable otherwise. Perfect. Yeah, that's another consideration I had, Rod. I think there's a good chance Conclave Tribunal could be better than Excellence Binding because of all the cheap threats that we have. How does it work for Modern? The numbers end up working the same for Modern, but fetch lands kind of complicate how your mana base actually looks. It's a little bit awkward to draw that land here, so now I have to choose between playing the Thalion on 3 and the Ajani on 4, and I think I want to get this going, because ideally I want to have 2 creatures in play when I play the Ajani out to start plussing. Okay, just Branchwalker, not Jade Light, so that's good for us. Build your own Jade Light, yep. Oh, that's really awkward. Feel like we're probably dead here. Yeah, it's, the problem is, like, while we can eat and trade with some of these in combat, we're not really eating or trading. We're just letting our opponent convert them into other better cards. For Tocatli Honor Guard. Look at that. God bless us, everyone. Couple of cast downs. Excellence Binding's a little bit medium here. I could go either way on this. Marshall's probably not very good because it's often difficult to have a board that you can attack into against the opponent. Yeah, Lyra might not be bad, because, like, the ground... While Lyra gets shot down by while Lyra gets shot down by Vivian, like, having an Air Force to, like, go over a stalled board is pretty important. Consume does do stuff. Yeah, and this is one of the things, like, decks that are trying to be more aggressive tend to need to pull up against black-green, because the Wild Growth Walker package is just so good against trying to aggro that it's just basically impossible. Great curve here. Tocatli into Resplendent. Is it wrong to play 60 card Esper Control? You mean is it wrong to play 60 cards in sealed? Yeah, probably. And good morning, Justin. Feel like it's been a hot second. Hope you're doing well. Fantastic curve here. Almost done squiring. Dig, thank you for the 11 months. I really appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me employed here. Play your 2-1s. That's a 6-6. That's scarier than I was expecting. This is post board. This is game 2. We're currently down a game. Yikes. Yikes. One Tocatli honor guard back, please. We shall rebuild. Your green flash deck tech from SCG in 2013 showed up in my feed this morning. That's kind of funny. We'll get this worked into something reasonable, Hurley. I feel like the direction you were heading in, this probably wants to end up being something more aristocrat-y than what the original submission was. The opponent's deck list? The opponent's deck list is super stock. It's just like, it's actually just stock. It's actually just stock green-black mid-range. Like every card they've played has been stock green-black mid-range. Yeah, sometimes green-black mid-range comes in a lot of different flavors. So one of the many different cards you can splash in is Doom Whisperer. Two-one Afterlife 2. Oh yeah, this is much better than this style of card. Let's try and restructure what this deck is doing into a more aristocrat style deck, shall we? There could be something in that direction if we want to be black-white and be a little bit aggressive. What's the creature that gives itself indestructible? Pitiless Pontiff. Enforcer's kind of sweet. I don't hate this card. Bunch of good Afterlife payoffs. We played Modern this morning. We wrapped up already. We played Burn. It'll be up on YouTube later. Yeah, Marshall kind of gets brick walled a little bit. Have we played any games with Dovins? We've tried a couple of Dovin lists, Justin. And we have a couple more coming up in the queue at some point. A couple of Dovin lists we played have been awkward so far. I definitely want to try him in Bant tokens as well as white aggro and blue aggro. Witness is probably a little bit better than Footlight Fiend. And then is it Teysa? What's that black white? Is it T-E? Is it T-E-Y? Yeah, Teysa. We tried it in Control. Yeah, we played a blue-white Super Friends deck, and it felt a little bit awkward there. Dovin really needs creatures played before him to be good. It's not really a Control card. Something like this, maybe? Does not seem unreasonable. Oh, some Midnight Reaper? I wouldn't hate that. I am not going to Indianapolis. It's supposed to be they're calling for snow this weekend, and I'm too old to drive in the snow. This seems good. We dragged the curve down a little bit. We still got we got an Afterlife theme going on. No, I don't know what that enchantment does, Justin. It's like an Aristocrat style build. Is the priest? Do we have enough poopers in this deck that priest is playable? We might have enough Afterlife that the Priest of the Forgotten Things is playable. Yeah, everything is Afterlife. Do I want some Mortifies? I don't know that I have room to fit Mortify in. I guess I could probably go down a land if I'm trimming the curve a little bit. I cut my white spells too. So here he is. I need to cut the line for a control deck with Dovin's Acuity. I don't know. Maybe. Maybe. All right. Dovin's Acuity is like bad disinformation campaign. Oh, that's the one that when you play a spell on your turn, it comes back to your hand, right? I'm jumping into a game as opposed to continuing to build decks because building decks, I've missed timing out a bunch of people in chat right now who are just shouting bad cards at me. So please adhere to the stream rules. Thank you. All right. say, I mean, this hand's really good if we draw a couple lands. I think cards like Glass of the Guild Pack are just too cute. I think if you wanted an Anthem-style effect like that, you'd splash Judith before you played just an individually bad card, or an individually weak card. Why is Gutter Bones better than Reassembling Skeleton? Yeah, because you can play it on turn 1. It's a very aggressive creature. An aggressive deck is interested in playing a 2-1 for 1, and the fact that it comes back is upside. 2 attack and 1 mana are both huge aspects of that. You think Beamkin is a good week 1 deck? I do. I think things that are aggressive and linear are great week 1 decks. It's gonna be Bloodsoaked Champion back. Bloodsoaked Champion's real good. Perfect curve here. 2, 3, 4. The Spectacle cards actually both felt good White Pumpkins. You think Black White Angels could be a good deck? I do. It's one of the better decks I feel like we've played so far this season. We're gonna be playing that again later today. Yikes. Alright, spells, please. Yeah, I agree. I feel like your control matchup's probably hard game 1, but you definitely have the tools post-board. Especially with the Adantos and, like, Duresses. Steamkin's a heck of a magic card, for sure. Yes, Teysa does make Midnight Reaper trigger twice. What problem does the Black-White Angels deck has that playing Angel of Grace solves? That's my thought process. My thought process is there isn't a problem in that deck that card solves, so it's not worth playing. If you can envision a problem that card solves, maybe it is worth trying, but... Light Up the Stage is awesome. Very, very powerful card. Man, this has been a rough beat. I'm gonna keep this, I guess. We have till turn 3 to draw Black Source. I'm gonna keep this, actually, because it gives me something to do on turn 3, guaranteed. I really like the Flash deck. Flash decks are one of my favorite. Although the Judith aggro decks have been really sweet too. I really like tricky aggro decks, and the Judith aggro decks definitely fall under that category. Awesome, Worf. I'm glad you like it. I mean, we have some payoffs, Emgrave. Priest of Forgotten Gods is a payoff for sacrificing things. Pitiless Pontiff is like a card that's like a payoff built into itself. Teysa gives us more tokens. Midnight Reaper lets us draw cards. So I agree that Judas is a powerful effect, but it's important that I play the Swamp here on 3, because this way if I draw another Black Source next turn, I can play both my 2-drops out. Not that I'm aware of, Pimped Up Monk. or if they have like a Moment of Craving or something here, because they can't play a 2-mana removal spell on our turn thanks to Tithe Taker. Yep. Worth noting they have a basic island in play, so they can't currently Kaya's Wrathless this turn. However, they could do it 2 turns from now. Next turn, we could jam the Orzhov Enforcer in and crack for 3. We did 4-1 SCTR. We played against Blue Moon, which generally has a pretty bad burn matchup. Yeah, the mulligans without black have definitely been a little more than a little bit due to variance. Like, I think there's 15 black sources in the deck at the moment, which is statistically 1 more than we need to hit it on 2 consistently. What eternal format solution do you think they'll come up with for Arena? They'll just start a new non-rotating format. The Esper Hero deck was a lot of fun, I agree. I mean, it depends on what you want your deck to do, Larson. Like, everybody, I feel like Magic players want every deck to just draw infinite cards, and like sometimes it's okay for your aggressive deck to not do that. I get that it feels bad when you flood a little bit, but like it doesn't mean you need to like cut a bunch of your threats to like add a bunch of ways to draw cards into it. That's unfortunate. I think the Arena non-rotating format we played in paper 100%. I think the non-rotating format's likely going to be involved in Mythic Championships, Grand Prix, etc. And if it's popular, Star City Games will pick it up as well. People will play in paper whatever they enjoy playing. If they're playing it on Arena, they're probably going to want to play it in paper as well. Yikes. Yeah, I agree, Jake Grossness. I think team events will very likely become standard new format and modern. And don't stop calling it new extended. Anybody who calls the new format new extended doesn't understand what extended was. Extended was a rotating format. The new format's going to be non-rotating like modern or legacy. It's a new thing. It's not extended. I mean, it won't be Frontier either. Like, Frontier was a thing that a game store in Japan made up so it could sell cards that they otherwise couldn't sell. No, they haven't announced anything about the new format. People just like to speculate. I forgot how obnoxious people are with just emotes. Get out of here. Why not make them sack with Priest? You're missing the fact that I had Orzhov Enforcer in play and not Priest of Forgotten Gods. Is what you are missing. So I did not have Priest at this one. Seeing get an animation. I mean, I don't think they're going to add many non-standard cards to Arena. Lyra for their Lyra? I don't think so. I think I'd just rather have a couple of Mortifies. Yeah, Priest just like eats spot removal and dies, right? They don't have that many creatures either. Consume could be okay. The fact that it cantrips is nice. Maybe it's better than the third Mortify. Because Mortify is real bad when it's a dead draw. Need to cut 3 cards here. Orzhov Enforcer's a little mediocre. Put one Lyra in at the top end. It's been a rough set of games. Just gotta double check our black count. I'm pretty sure it's 15 though. Yeah, it's 8, 15, it's 8, 15, and 16. Yeah, the number of colors we're playing is fine. Just bad beats. In the words of the greatest poet of our generation, sometimes you just have to shake it off and move along to the next one. Obviously, the shuffler is out to get us because hands without lands in them can't possibly mean random. Because everybody knows random means uniformly distributed. I mean, Rulk, I think anybody drawing conclusions from the games that we played is just like jumping to giant conclusions. We literally haven't had a keepable 7. Like this is the first thing close to a keepable 7 we've had. It isn't even very good. So, like, any deck looks terrible after you mulligan and die almost every single game. The deck might not be good, but, like, looking at what we've done so far and, like, trying to draw that conclusion is lazy, I think. In order to play blue 1-drops, the mana base that you need to play blue 1-drops along with a black 1 3-drop just doesn't exist. I'm gonna elect not to attack. I'm gonna attack with it. Am I gonna get sealed away here and feel bad? For upcoming standard, what's my go-to for a mid-range deck? I mean, green-black mid-range is still very good. I also think that, what's it called? I also think that, green-black mid-range is still going to be good. I also think black-white angels is fantastic. That's a deck we're going to play later today. So we get to go kind of crazy next turn. We get to go Reaper into Witness with Teysa in play. I mean, Seal Away is pretty bad. Not a huge fan of Seal Away personally. No, the deck that we're currently playing is listed in the stream title. I mean, target. This is kind of doing it, right? This is like, this counts as doing it. Triggers. So tell me what you want, what you really want. Oh, tell me what you want, what you really want. I wanna really triggers. Woo! Man, that's pretty good. I didn't realize, man, people kept telling me this Priest of the Forgotten Gods card was good. I didn't realize it said target opponent concedes the game. That was quite fantastic. I'm in for target player concedes the game. That sounds wonderful. Definitely a Tocatli Honor Guard matchup. Extra Mortify feels good. Maybe Cast Down is good too. That was good, Teysa. Good, Teysa. I didn't know it sacrificed players as well. Right? 35 creatures. I probably don't need Tithe Taker, right? Actually, Tithe Taker is probably better than this one. It's like 2-1 just doesn't really attack. They conceded because we were creating an insurmountable level of card advantage. Ink Just Guy Control is still top tier? Yeah. I personally have yet to play a Sultai or Esper list that felt very reasonable. And we're actually going to be playing Jeskai in the set of matches after this one. So we'll be trying that soon enough. I've been enjoying Bant Flash a lot, but I'm having a hard time figuring out when to use Mystic Snake as just a flash beater and when to hold it back. You know, honestly, I think in this format, it's probably right to hold it back a lot of the time. Obviously, it's going to vary situation to situation. I think the biggest key indicator is, like, if you have more answers in your hand, it's okay to play it out sometimes. But if you don't have more answers, generally speaking, you should probably be conservative with it. Well, it's only fitting that when we finally start hitting our stuff. So someone asked about Drill Bit over Duress. So in general, the decks that you want discard effects against, Drill Bit and Duress are almost the same card. And the big difference between the two is that if your opponent has Settle the Wreckage potentially, Duress is infinitely better. So Duress, you want to play before combat to make sure you're not about to get your aggro deck settled. Whereas the, whatever the other card is, Drill Bit doesn't really let you do that conveniently. So I think Drill Bit's probably better in decks that can have, like, direct damage, like Fireblade or Judith or stuff like that. But I think in a deck that's only triggering Riot by attacking, it's probably not fantastic. Is there any particular reason you do the normal best of 3 queue as opposed to playing the traditional event? In theory, people, it's not better testing, perps. I would like to, if there's one thing that you can take away from my stream, I hope that it's we dispel you of the lie that because people are willing to gamble, no matter what the amount of money is, that there's automatically more skill involved in what's ever going on. People have this idea in their head that if people are willing to gamble, that means they're better players. It doesn't. You don't get better testing. You get people that concede, you get people playing bad decks, you get people making mistakes. All of these things happen in the events where you pay gold to enter and in the traditional queue like this. That both those things happen in both of those places. Cinder, you were timed out for using the word retarded in a derogatory fashion. Please don't do that. It's not welcome on my channel. You can find the deck queue at bit.ly/deck queue or go to my website and then click stream deck queue. Newer and extremely experienced players are likely less risk averse. That's not true, fake based. There are other people who just like playing Magic who also don't care about farming value from what's going on. Correct, yeah, if anything, and this is another thing you don't consider, like, when you go past, setting aside, let's say I could never convince you of the gambling logic of that, like, gambling doesn't mean people are better. The traditional queue pairs based on a hidden MMR. So there's that too. Whereas the events don't pair on an MMR at all, which makes a big difference. So I assume we're getting fogged here, right? Nope, they're just dead. Got it. Afterlife is a new mechanic for this set. Usually they do a mix of returning mechanics and new mechanics. So Mortify is good for killing Wilderness Reclamation and Search. Duress is great. What do I want to trim here? Teysa's probably not necessary in a matchup like this because we just want to beat them down. Priest of the Forgotten Gods is mediocre too because they likely don't have... Actually, they probably have Krasis in their deck, right? Which makes Priest reasonable. Trim this one. The actual answer is that this mythical place where there's only good players and you're gonna get this beautiful experience and only play it against tier decks, that doesn't exist. There's a lot of people who play Magic for fun and regardless of their skill level. Was watching the stream muted and got banned. What did I do for the ban? Not upset, just curious what I missed. I don't actually know, Underlips. That was probably 10 minutes ago at this point. It might not have been me. Yeah, Tithe Taker is very good in this matchup. I agree. Completely concur. You cannot respond to the Nexus Shuffle effect. So Nexus of Fate reshuffling into the deck is what's referred to as a replacement effect. I'm gonna go ahead and kill this Seraph Canta. And a replacement effect means that it says, if this thing would happen, instead do this other thing. So with Nexus, Nexus says, if it would go to the graveyard, instead shuffle it back, reveal it, and shuffle it back into the deck. Yeah, sorry, Under. Doug. So here's the thing about Eternal Absolution against the Explore decks. One, we have 4 Tocatli Honor Guard that are really good against the Explore decks and are way more mana efficient. Two, against the Explore decks, we also... Ooh, that's great. Against the Explore decks, we also have... oh, I'm blanking on words. Against the Explore decks, the Explore decks generally have a lot of enchantment removal, such as Vivian, and Assassin's Trophy, and 6-mana Vraska, that are going to make you really sad that you paid 6 mana for an enchantment. Yes, the Tithe Taker stack. So my opponent will have to pay 2 extra mana for every spell they want to cast on my turn from now on. Yeah, we're actually going to play straight blue-green turns later today. That's something Ali Andrazi's been working on. We had someone submit to the queue. So it'll be the last standard deck we play today. Yeah, I agree. For 6 mana is just very expensive. Yeah, you have to... A lot of the card reveals are to make sure you're not cheating. That's exactly correct. We ended up 4-1 with Bird. So I'm actually going to go ahead and sacrifice Hunted Witness here, because I could draw a copy of Duress off of the Midnight Reaper trigger, and if I do, I'd like to Duress them. So I'm probably going to sacrifice this Oligarch at the end of their turn 2 to get another draw towards a Duress, or a way to destroy this. Yeah, the blue-green turns just makes a big crisis. That's nice. It's nice not having to worry about Settle the Wreckage in this matchup. Deck making you withstand Tuco Husk. Yeah, I really like the new music tracks that they've added. They've done a really good job with the sounds in Arena. Alright, so they're probably dead here. Because we have double Tithe Taker, which means they can't fog next turn. Oh no! Nexus is so oppressive! Please ban Nexus! Oh no! It's not, it couldn't at all be possible that you just need more interaction and sideboards to beat the deck. People, Magic players really like to talk about things that have to be broken. We can't just accept that lots of powerful... One of the things that makes this standard format great is how many different powerful things you can be doing. Nexus is really powerful. Red is really powerful. Drake's also powerful. Green, black, midrange, wild growth walker, super powerful. There's so many unique and powerful strategies in this format, and it's one of the things that really makes it great, in my opinion. Playing with powerful cards is fun. I do play standing. I have a desk that goes up and down with motors in its legs, so I split my time streaming, sitting, and standing. It might be broken in best of one, that's true. Maybe best of one needs a different ban list. Any changes you make to Esper Amulet for the best of one ladder? No, I don't think so. TDW, thank you very much for the brand new Prime support. There's a lot of great people making a lot of great stuff on Twitch right now. Thanks for supporting mine this month with that. If you're one of those people out there who finds yourself frustrated with some of those more linear strategies, like Nexus, like Mono Red, I would definitely encourage you to give Best of 3 a try. A lot of those strategies that are difficult to interact with in Best of 1 have great sideboard cards in this format that allow you to attack them on a really great axis. The actual answer is because it doesn't matter how low. Just like actually meaningless. Sure, but there's people that'll tell you Nexus isn't fun to play against. There's people that'll tell you Carnage Tyrant isn't fun to play against. There's people that'll tell you Mono Red's not fun to play against. Just ban everything, because none of it's fun to play against. Different people enjoy things in different ways, and things that you personally find unfun to play against, other people really enjoy playing with and playing against. The variety of gameplay that Magic produces is one of the things that allows it to be such a great game and appeal to so many people. Yeah, ranked best of 3 is coming at the end of the month. How much money did I put into the newest expansion? $200. I put in $200 to get packs, and I had about 50 packs from gold. Alright, we did. Main deck cry coming at you. Yeah, Cry is very good against this deck. Definitely need copies of Duress to go ahead and try and pick that apart. Yep, the update happened this morning. It was done about an hour ago. Best of 3 solves a lot of the unfun problems because good sideboards will deal... Yeah, and it's not even that, like, the sideboards give you a 100% win rate, right? But sideboards just, like, allow you to take a matchup that's probably, you know, 20 or 30% game 1 and pull it up to 50-50. So you get to, like, actually play a game. It's not just you getting dumpstered. Would Planecrafters be good for Planeswalkers? That's an interesting idea. I was actually just thinking about Eldritch Reborn potentially being a good option. But yeah, I could see Planecrafter being good too. I think Pлагecrafter is probably a good suggestion. Well, Eldest Reborn is not a good answer to Carnage Tyrant. All the Carnage Tyrant decks have a bunch of things that get in the way of Eldest Reborn. I mean, Pлагecrafter is technically a non-bow with Tocatli, but you just board out Pлагecrafter. There aren't any matchups where you want both Pлагecrafter and Tocatli. Yeah, definitely. If you're not playing creatures, Cry is a strict upgrade to Golden Demise. I don't know what Ethereal Absolution does. And again, if you want to make a suggestion, talk about why the card is a meaningful addition to the deck. What problem does our deck have that you're solving by making that change? I think I'm playing Seraph rather than mortifying this right away, because I want to get this down under a counterspell. Oh, Absolution, that one. Yeah, I don't think that card solves any problems that we have. I also just don't think that card's very good in general. It's very expensive for a very mediocre effect, and a lot of the decks that you would want that effect against have a lot of meaningful ways to interact with it before it generates any actual value. Pлагecrafter is very bad against Golgari. Golgari has a ton of small creatures, like Explorer creatures and Land War Elves, that they don't care about sacrificing in the slightest. Please cast a spell. I wonder if we're going to see a Kaya's Wrath next turn. They might, like, kill this, then untapping Kaya's Wrath. Like, clean out some of the tokens, basically. I'm still going to get 2 tokens left over from these, but... We're about to get settled in Cry. Yep. Alright. We're still kind of in this game, right? I get a 1/1 and I get to draw 2 cards. So if we draw like 3 spells here, we could be okay. 2 spells. Alright. Another creature, please. The burn deck went really well. Light up the stage seemed great. It helped you hit land drops consistently, which was great. Major one where your single land keeps much better. Midnight does not trigger off of Settle, so exiling a creature does not count as it dying, it's exiling. So I'm gonna play Pontiff before I attack here, because this way, if they settle the Wreckage me, I get to sacrifice these and draw cards off them. Jat, thank you for the 30 months. I really appreciate your generosity over the last 2.5 years, and thank you for re-upping at the tier 3. Things are going well for you out west. And Midnight Reaper is really powerful. So I'm gonna go ahead and attack into another potential settle here because I can sacrifice these. Angel of Grace. It's a pretty good one. I am gonna go ahead and sacrifice this Hunted Witness before blocks. So this way, if I draw Mortify, I can kill this. You're in London at the moment. Well, I hope you're having a good trip. Sometimes a break from life and work is good. They're at 15 still. Probably not going to go our way here. No, the token is not attacking after I sacrifice, so I did give up a point of damage to that, but I think it's worth it. They're at 15, so like 1 point's not that big of a deal. Yeah, when Best of 3 rank starts, I plan to play it on stream. Pitiless Pontiff is a great card to draw here. It's another creature I can add to the board, but it doesn't overextend into a sweeper effect because I can make it indestructible. So, opponent missed 5 points of damage here. I guess I would have just blocked. So that's fair. So, this resolves. I end up with 5 power in play. What's tier 1? We have no idea. You don't have good data to judge that off of. How do you define a tier? Thunk. So they're not technically dead on board because they do have Angel of Grace to jump back up to 10 here. I would encourage you to read Kaya's Wrath, Drexos. You think Kaya's Wrath is much better than it is. Folks thinking my opponent gained life, I'd encourage you to read Kaya's Wrath.
It's much more malleable than people think.
It's not Fumigate. God, that card would be so absurd if it was Fumigate. If they have a fungal infection here, I'm just gonna cry silently. Alright, they're down to 2.
That's how it was meant to happen.
Like, they're at 2, right? Because they have the Angel of Grace hanging out here. To be fair, literacy is a big problem among Magic players. If Magic players knew how to read Magic cards, I'd probably never top 8 a tournament. Alright, well, now they are dead on board. Sure.
I advise that you
There was an arena update this morning. Sure. My favorite judge calls in Paper are when someone calls over the judge and all the judge does is literally just read the player the magic card that's on the table and they go, oh, I understand. And like all the judge did was read the card text word for word. They're just like, oh. And if you haven't played Tournament Magic, that happens far more often than you would think. I think this is fine. I think I'm happy with how I sideboarded. We are playing best of 3 standard constructed. It's pretty much all we play on this stream for Magic Arena. So if you're interested in finding sweet constructed decks, it's definitely the place for you. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and run it back. RTFC stands for Read the Flipping Card. It never occurred to me that most of the calls I got were me just reading the card text until you said it. Yeah. Alright. Let's put them under duress. Alright, well. I mean, they technically can't cast the Absorb yet, but I think some Playcrafters are a good idea. I don't know if I necessarily want them in the main deck, but I definitely think some Playcrafters in the 75 are probably would be a worthwhile addition. There's a deck list on your screen. You can also type ! deck in chat to get a direct link to the deck list. The priests are not in the sideboard, they were in the main deck. I'm gonna go ahead and just play 2 creatures here, I think. Hey, Stanton, thank you very much for the brand new Prime support. I appreciate that. Thanks for keeping me employed here. Worth noting that my opponent has a basic island in play, so I don't have to worry about getting Kaya's Wrath next turn. RTFC, what you get is what you see. That's fantastic. Oh no, they drew an absorb? Brutal. This is the downside to taking the line that I took here. It does leave my Midnight Reaper exposed to a counterspell. Is it possible to split between Hero, Tithe Taker? Many of our main board spells are multicolored. No, I really like Tithe Taker. I think that card's great. My favorite judge call is when the judge says yes and then takes 2 steps back and waits for the follow-up judge call. Yep. Can I Pithing Needle Dark Confidant? Yes. Yes, you can.
We need to move quickly.
Alright, so this first Teferi is just to gain 5.
It's only a matter of time.
You have a 1K standard tournament. Are you playing to win or are you playing to have fun? Because which of those two things you're doing determines my answer. And if it's scummy to play non-English decks to call a judge, nah, it's not scummy. It's allowed by the rules. I'm a pretty big proponent of if the rules allow it, you should be okay doing it. Shouldn't feel bad doing it if the rules allow it. All right, so this is like representing Settle the Wreckage. So I'm gonna go ahead and attack with all of these. And then when they settle me, I'm gonna sacrifice all of them and get 3 power back. Angel is fine. Let's kill that before blocks. I really do like Angel of Grace in their deck. Like, it gives them similar lines to the Bant Flash deck, where, like, your opponent has to guess, like, do you have Settle, do you have Angel, etc.
No time for a break.
That's not strictly true, Allure. Especially at competitive REL, most people can recognize Magic cards just based on their artwork at Comp REL. If they have Settle here, we're probably dead. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Getting another turn with Teferi is real bad for us. It's very possible I should have taken one of their 2 Teferis instead of their Absorb. What's going on, Time Walk? I mean, appeals exist for a reason, Davis. There's no need to get upset with people who make mistakes. Judges are human, right? That's why appeals exist. In fact, head judges can be wrong on occasion too. I've definitely asked a head judge, gently suggested to a head judge, hey, I'm pretty sure that's not what the ruling is. Can we double check with the Gatherer and see what the Gatherer says about this ruling? And like, most reasonable judges, as long as you're respectful, aren't gonna have a problem with that.
Say hello.
Hey, Crispo, thanks for the brand new Prime support. I appreciate that. Welcome, welcome. Thanks for keeping me employed here. Do you have a recommendation for a platform to play MTG on that's more competitive than Magic Arena? No, it doesn't exist. No, competitive Magic's a lie that doesn't exist. I'm gonna attack all of these here, and I'm gonna attack this here. If you don't think playing on Arena is competitive, you're not gonna be happy anywhere. I skimmed through your Arcadis YouTube video trying to find your opinion on the deck, but I never came across it. At the end of every video I make, you can find my opinion on the deck list. First time sub, I don't know if you remember this, but I played against you at SCG Dallas right after the Twin Ban. I was playing Breach Titan, and you were playing Kiki Court. I named Nahiri. I played Nahiri to exile your Resto Angel, so you could not combo and I could win the next turn, but you courted for Deceiver Exarch to untap it and fizzle Nahiri's ability. I do remember that. Yeah, I think I top 16 that tournament. Top 16 sounds right.
Want me to phase you out of time?
think I'm gonna put Teysa into play. You can see all of the decks that I'm going to be playing on stream upcoming in the deck queue. If there's a deck that you want to see played that's not currently in the deck queue, you're always welcome to add it yourself.
Keep up the pace.
Old Man Sam with the brand new Prime support. Thank you very much and welcome. Hope you're having a good Wednesday wherever you're at. Thanks for dropping in here. Yeah, that card's just a beating. Nice fake base. Mardu Control. I've yet to play a good Mardu Control deck personally. Alright, I think we're gonna wrap up with this one. So, as far as... Oh, there was a tip there. Thank you, Balthazar. I appreciate it. Figured I'd pile another on. Sounds good. Thanks for the support. As far as this goes, I definitely think the more Aristocrat-style build like this is better than the more mid-rangey deck we started off with. And hey Dylan, dying slowly TV with the tip. Been here for a bit, first time for a deck submission. Thanks for the support. Get that edited in after we're done today. I think the takeaway from playing the Aristocrat style deck after we've played a few different things in the past is that the mana base is good enough in this format that you should probably just be playing Mardu. Like, access to cards like Fireblade and Judith really make these aggressive decks kind of tick more, and I feel like not leaning into those is probably where you want to be if you want to be playing something aggressive. So while this felt okay and kind of synergistic, I think having access to more aggressive starts that red cards would give us access to would make this a lot more competitive against the control decks like we just played. I do think having access to some cards like Plaguecrafter would also help. I think I'd probably fit some Plaguecrafters on the board if I was going to play this again, but I also think if I was going to play it, I'd probably rebuild and focus on something that's more Mardu. I don't know, I like having extra threats. Teysa actually seemed okay in a couple of the spots that we had her. She might be win more, but if I was going to replace her, I think it would be with stuff like more Midnight Reaper, more Miscreant, stuff like that. Tithe Taker is very good, I agree. This is one of the cards I've been really impressed with. This card is just like, it's 2 bodies against aggro, but it also has a meaningful text box against control. Yeah, the overlay for Magic Arena is